Hello, everyone. My name is Natalia, and I'm Identity and Momentum Architect. I help coaches, artists, business owners, entrepreneurs to close identity leaks and gaps so they can normalize their next level of wealth, visibility, and impact in their body. So they stop being the person who is chasing 50K cash months, 20K cash months, right? And they become the person who identifies as I am someone who makes consistent 20K cash months. This is just who I am, and they feel safe with that. And this is going to be the topic for today's episode, right? Like, you don't chase 20K cash months, you don't chase money, you don't chase wealth, you normalize it in your body, you identify with it. Because for a long time I spent years, right, like trying to get there, right? Like, when I ask myself, because wealth and money wasn't part of who I am, it wasn't part of my identity. I'm coming from the family where lack and scarcity was normal, where each one of us had the identity, I'm someone who doesn't have enough, right? So this was home for me. This was like lack and scarcity was normal for me. I have normalized, I'm someone who doesn't have enough. It was my identity, right? So I was trying to get out of this identity, I'm someone who doesn't have enough, right? By thinking what I have to do, how to get there, right? Like, what I have to say inside of my messaging, much time I have to post, right? Like, what type of offers I have to create. I was looking outside of myself, what I have to change in my business outside of myself, right? What type of money blocks I have to heal, so I can hit right certain amounts of money, let's say 20K, so I can make 20K cash months in my business. What do I have to do, right? What I have to do outside of myself, what I have to shift, what I have to change, so I can get there, so I can be the person who has way more than enough, so I can feel safe, so I can feel free. And I'm not saying don't focus on strategy. Of course, we're going to focus on strategy, but what matters the most is who we are, um, behind a strategy, from which identity we are taking actions. And I was taking actions all the time from identity. I'm someone who doesn't have enough. I'm someone who doesn't have consistent income. I'm someone who doesn't have consistent clients. I'm someone who things just don't work out for, right? Like, things just don't work out for me. This is who I was. And no matter how many times I was tweaking my messaging, no matter how many times I was, posting, I was posting more and doing more, this was still my state of consciousness. This was still my identity. I'm someone who doesn't have enough. And this identity would constantly pull me back. And it will pull me back specifically in those moments when I couldn't see the evidences, right? When you're posting and you raise your prices, you're posting, you want to attract a different type of buyers, and suddenly, like, this new strategy didn't take off yet, right? Like, this new new branding, new strategy, new product suite, right? It didn't take off yet. And you find yourself in the void, or sales have slowed down and you're having a weird launch, or all of that stuff. And in that moment, in the void, like, this identity, my old identity will try to pull me back. Like, do you see, like, you're someone, like, things don't work out for you? Like, do you see, like, you're someone who doesn't have enough, right? And I wouldn't even realize that this is my old identity, and I would identify with it because it felt safe, it felt familiar, because it was already here, it was already alive in my body, and because it was who I was identifying myself with. And instead of being the observer and, like, really watching, okay, this is not who I am, this is just my old outdated identity that I have to purge and purify it out of my body, instead of using this as an opportunity to purge it and to purify it out of my body, I would constantly slip back into this identity. I'm someone who doesn't have enough, right? So I realized that wealth is a state of consciousness, that wealth and being wealthy is a state of being, it's identity. It's not something you spend years and energy and time and money, right, and focus trying to get there. It's a state of being. right? And when I realized, okay, what I was doing and how I was constantly slipping back into this old identity that I'm someone who doesn't have enough and things don't work out for me. And when I learned how to get out of this and how to stabilize myself and how to normalize, right, the wealth in my body, how to let that in, because I wasn't feeling safe being the person who makes consistent 50K. Your body has to feel safe with being the person who makes consistent 50K, 20K, right? 10K, whatever your amount is, right? Like your body has to feel safe. You have to let this land in your body, right? Because currently, if you're not identifying yourself, for example, I'm not a person who makes 20K consistent 20K cash months, right? I'm not a person who signs clients consistently. I'm not a person who makes consistent 20K. Things don't work out for me and all of that. When things start to work out for you, when everything starts to take off, more eyes on you than ever, your DMs are exploding. In those moments, this outdated identity, the one who says, I'm not someone who makes 20K, I'm not seen, right? Like I'm not recognized. Then this part of you in that moments too, not just in the void, but in moments when everything is exploding, will again start to pull you back. And if you don't see it, and because this is designed so that for you to be blind, right? Literally like blind of it, if you don't see it for what it is, it will again pull you back. So you have to see it for what it is, and again use this time as a portal and as opportunity to purify those outdated parts of you so you can really start to identify and normalize yourself. Yes, I am someone who makes consistent 20K. I am someone who signs clients consistently. I'm someone who is wealthy. I'm someone who has way more than enough money, right? This is who I am. And once this new identity lands, right, and becomes a part of who you are, it becomes the state of consciousness from how you are watching, right, everything around you, then you stop asking yourself how to get there. You already feel one with it. You feel one with it. You stop asking yourself, can I maintain this? You know you can. You stop trying to convince people to buy from you because you know they will buy. You stop trying and tweaking your messaging from the place of, okay, how to get more money, how to get them to buy because I need money, but you're literally creating content and producing content and selling from the place, I know people are going to buy because I am someone people buys regularly from. I am someone who makes consistent 20K. Money will come. People will buy. Things work out for you and you feel safe with that, right? So no, we don't attract wealth. We don't go there and think to try to attract wealth from the place. I'm not someone who makes consistent 20K. I'm not someone who has enough. Like it will never happen. And as you can see, like this old identity will try to pull you back in the void. And this is the reason why so many people can compound the momentum, but they sabotage their momentum over and over again. They found themselves in this stop and start cycle. And this is another reason how people sabotage themselves right when everything is working, when everything is blowing. And this is the reason why I came up with my membership Momentum that I'm currently still working on, right? I'm still working on this membership, but I'm going to launch this membership very soon, where you're going to have like the right support when it comes to shifting your identity, when it comes to shifting the patterns that try to pull you back and fears that try to pull you back into real time so they don't take off, right? In this membership, I'm going to help you normalize, right, your next level of wealth and become the person who makes consistent 20K, 30K, 50K, 100K cash months. So it's completely locked in and normalizing your body. So this is just who you are, right? This is just who you are. This is how life and business goes for you. So you can take actions from this identity and compound an insane momentum and actually have consistent 50K, 20K, 30K, right, cash months. So if this resonates with you, make sure to follow, make sure to subscribe, and I'm going to keep you updated about my new membership.